What's happening, boys and girls? How the devil are we? Shanksy here, and welcome back to my game reviews for the Chrono deal of the day. Today, it is time, Meeple Station. You're up next. Let's have a little look, see what we think. Right, so what is Meeple Station? Meeple Station is a top-down isometric 8-bit builder simulator. Think like SimCity, but as opposed to building a city, you're building a space station, and them meeples require an awful lot of creature comforts. Them greedy little bastards, they want food, they want water, they want oxygen, and you need to give it all to them while building up trade routes, building up your space station, making sure they've got stuff to do, setting trade routes, all of this stuff. Holy moly, there's a lot to it. But is the game any good? Let's have a little look, shall we? Before we do that, let's talk about money, baby. So it is the Chrono deal of the day. It's now a massive 40% off if you download it via that link down below and support the stream at the same time. But it is worth noting, guys, you may be able to get it cheaper on Steam. If you go over to Steam, have a little look. They do deals on this game quite often, so have a little look, see which one's cheaper. Today will probably be the Chrono deal, but any other part of the time, it will be via Steam. Check it out. Keep in mind, if you do want to buy it through the Chrono link, the link is down below, and you can support this content at the same time. But without further ado, let's have a little look at some gameplay. Now, I'll warn you, I'm not very good at these type of games. This is going to be embarrassing. You're going to work out how absolutely non-creative I really am with all of this. So I am the least creative content creator I know. And that's saying something, baby. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. So we're going to start with absolutely nothing in this game whatsoever, apart from, I think there's like 8,000 credits to build your space station. Now, the story of the game, or the premises of the game, is that the Meeple people have had a hard-fought life on this, not on their home world, but on a home world, and it turns out that they're not from there originally. So they go off, venture into the stars to try and find out their history and their origins of where they come from. So that is the premises behind the game. That is why they are off now, the Meeples in space. And as I say, you start with absolutely nothing. Your job is to build a space station for them. Make sure they've got food, water, oxygen, all that type of stuff. Make sure they've got something that they can build, something they can work with, something they can trade. And all you start with at this point in time is a little checklist on the right hand side telling you what you need to build. Now, it's an absolute pain because there's very little hand holding in this game whatsoever. And for someone that's not that creative at all, I really struggle to get my head around it. So I had to restart a couple of times. While restarting a couple of times, this though was on my first playthrough. While restarting a couple of times, I did find out that you cannot skip the opening sequence either. So you have got to watch the cutscene. It's not incredibly long, a couple of minutes. But if you're restarting, it's a bit of an issue. There was also an issue where I encountered multiple freezes when I hit the escape button when I went to back out. It did type of lock the game up a little bit. That might just be my system. I'm not sure. So there are some early stage bugs in this. This is definitely a game in beta, as you like. It's definitely not full release yet, but on the flip side, that's type of reflected in the price. Now we're going to skip forward. As you can see, I'm slowly starting to build this space station, not really knowing what I'm meant to be doing, because I could certainly do with a little bit of advice. You've got to build solar panels, and one thing that I didn't realize, I should say as well, on this particular playthrough, is that you've got to start then building utilities like the wiring and things like that to link everything together, so the Meeples, like, everything has power, everything has oxygen, everything has water, rather than just building a kitchen and expecting it to be powered up because you've got the energy. No, you've got to connect the energy lines to it so it's powered up. And the same goes for like things like oxygen and stuff like that. All of it requires that type of thought and planning when you're trying to build this space station. Now, obviously, I didn't get there very far in the game, but you can encounter different experiences, whether it be like meteor showers, space raiders, pirates coming in, taking over your ship. You've got to set them to work. You want to be building up. And it's literally one of the things about games that don't hold your hand like that. You can literally do it your way. Whatever way you want to go down, whether it be the commerce route or anything like that, is really up to you how you build your space station and how your meeples are going to react to everything. So let's have a little look after we've seen this awful display of me building. What I've done is I've stolen their trailer and I'm going to show you their actual gameplay trailer, and because that's how you're meant to build. See, this is the power bit that I'm talking about, and I just didn't understand this at that top point. So let's have a little look at how you're meant to be building as opposed to how I'm building. As you can see, our space stations are nigh on identical. I didn't have a clue, guys. I've got to be honest. I'll put my hands up. I didn't have a Scooby-Doo what was going on at any point. On this particular build, I actually ran out of credits before I even got my guys in there because I didn't know what was going on. So I actually run out of credits by the time I had anyone in my ship. So I think one of the big things for me is not understanding how to connect the power up, how to connect the water up, and things like that. And honestly, a little help tool, a little trick or tip or something like that wouldn't have gone amiss for this particular game. So I'll put my hands up, guys. This is not really my cup of tea. I'm going to give it one more shot because I want to see if I can at least get a semi-competent space station up and running. Trust me, I'm not going to be putting that many hours into it, but I would just like to see some guys actually in there with like power connected and stuff like that. So I'm going to give it one more shot tomorrow on stream. Fingers crossed we get somewhere. But other than that, it's not really my cup of tea. I enjoy similar type of games like, I don't know, like 2 Point Hospital, that type of thing. Reminds me of Theme Park, Theme Hospital, Dungeon Keeper. They're all those type of building games that I enjoy. But the sim building games aren't really my forte, I've got to be honest. But I know many of you out there would like it. And I think for the price, it's not a bad value deal at all. So if this is your type of game, it's well worth having a look at. But, unfortunately, I ain't no architect, baby. I ain't no architect. So, that is Meeple Station, boys and girls. As you can see, the reason why I used that trailer, right, because if you were just to judge this game off my gameplay, no one would ever pick it up in a million years. Hence, Beard's banter and below average gameplay really come to light there, right? For in fact, like the trailer shows what is capable of this game. Now there are some bugs in there are some glitches in it and all that. It is version 1.02. The reviews are very, very mixed, so you're going to have to make your own mind up from what you've seen. For the price, I think it's well worth giving it a go. It's good value in that type of price, and I think if you like this style of game, it's definitely one of those that you could put a lot of hours into it. It's just not quite my cup of tea. So, that is it for me today, boys and girls. I hope you've enjoyed the game review. I hope you're enjoying this series, guys. If you are, do me an absolute massive favour. Give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below as well. So, like and comment. I cannot stress to all of you guys how important that is for me and how important that is for the channel. If you want to see more game reviews, more content as well, I make a lot of Marvel Strike Force content, a lot of Raid Shadow Legends content, and pretty much everything else that I fancy as well as doing the Chrono deals every day. Hit that subscribe button, turn them notifications on, especially if you want to see these game reviews, guys, because they go live as the Chrono game goes live as well, or at least the large majority of them will go live. If we're doing that game for that day, basically, it will go live as the deal goes live as well. So it's well worth having a little look at before you decide to pick up the game or not. As I say, if you are interested in picking the game out, check both Steam and that link down below. If you use the link down below, it will actually help support the content as well, you absolute legends. But that is going to be it for me today, boys and girls. Discord links down below. Live stream links down below. If you want to catch up with me in person, you can find me over at Twitch or on the Discord. Either one is good for me. But until next time, boys and girls, be smart, be strong, be safe. I'll see you on the flip side. You take it easy.